Hey guys, it's me, Liesel from Langmaster Learning System. In today's lesson, we'll continue practicing listening to stories. I believe that these simple stories are really good for beginners. Now, before we start, I really hope that you guys have subscribed to this wonderful channel.
Mom's First Love. Mummy, I can't sleep. Could you please tell me a story? Linda asked her mum. Sure, dear. Let me think. Oh, I have a very interesting story for you. It's about me and your father. Do you want to listen? Her mom said. Yes, of course. Tell me, please. I'm all ears. All right. Here is how the story goes. As you already know, your dad and I were good friends in high school. We hung out with each other all the time. But one day, I went to your dad's house after school to get my homework back, which I let your father borrow. When I was going, his dad saw me and invited me in. We had a good time getting to know one another. From that day on, I felt that your granddad really liked me. He always told your dad to bring me gifts and stuff. And I knew exactly what he was up to. He wanted his son to go on a date with me. Unfortunately, at that time, I didn't have any feelings for your dad. So, I no longer went to play with your dad. Until one day, I decided to pay a visit to your grandmom's house. I had to take a train to get there. When I was at the train station, I saw your dad. He was looking around, and in his hands was a very beautiful bouquet of red roses. And I thought, oh no! He wants to express his love to me. I was embarrassed. So I hid behind a wall where I thought he could not see me. My train was ready to depart. I had to leave my hiding space to board the train. But just as I got on the train, he caught sight of me. He yelled as loud as he could, but I still pretended that I did not hear a word from him. Oh my gosh, Mom, poor Dad, Linda said. Yeah, I still feel bad about it. I should not have ignored him and left him there. At that time, we did not have personal telephones, so we lost contact for years. Luckily, since we were born for each other, I finally met your dad 5 years later. 5 years? Wow! such a long time, Mom. That's right. It was long enough for me to recognize the feelings I had for him. Then we started dating and got married. The end. Darling, you can go to sleep now. Thanks, Mom. What a lovely story. I feel sleepy now. Night, night. Okay, good night and sweet dreams. The security. Yesterday was Olivia's graduation ceremony. As it was her last day of school, she dressed up and put on makeup. Everyone in her class would take pictures together. Olivia put 2 bottles of water, a small and handy electric fan, and an umbrella in her bag. Then her dad took her to school in his car. When they arrived, she got out of the car and noticed that the schoolyard was blazing in the sun. Students that arrived at school would immediately run to the school hall in order to avoid the harsh sunlight outside. The school was very crowded, as not only were all the students there, but parents also attended the important ceremony. Moreover, there were many cars and bicycles in the schoolyard. Whew! The security man must be very busy today, Olivia thought. She then turned her head in the security guard's direction. He was a middle-aged, tall, and skinny man. If anyone looked at his face at that moment, then they would see how tired he was. He has to work in the hot sun for several hours, at least until the ceremony ended. Olivia felt very sorry for him. She decided to give him her small fan and umbrella, with the hope that they could somehow help him survive the heat. When Olivia gave them to the security guard, he was very grateful. Olivia was also pleased, as she did a very special thing on one of the most meaningful days of her life. On the trip back home. Today, Rose is very happy, as she can return home to visit her parents. She is a university student, and her school is located at the center of the city. Her house is in the suburbs on the outskirts of the city. She rents a room in the center of town, close to her university. Normally, Rose goes back home once a week. However, this month, since she had a very important exam, she had to spend all her time studying and could not visit her family. today her exam is over and she finally has free time to return home. Rose is very excited. She bought some gifts for her mum, her dad, and her little sister. Rose packs her stuff and goes to the bus station. As it is the weekend, there are many people at the bus station. Maybe they are also going to visit their hometown. When the bus arrives, Rose is lucky enough to have a seat to herself. It is quite a long trip home, and it would be very tiring for Rose to stand the whole way there. After a bit of time, Rose notices a very old lady standing behind her seat, and that nobody has given up their seats for the old lady to sit. Without even thinking about it, Rose immediately stands up and asks the old lady to swap places with her. The old lady says thank you to Rose for her kindness. Rose has to stand for nearly 2 hours. Despite this, she doesn't feel at all tired. When she arrives home, she tells us to her parents. They all give Rose a compliment, as her wise act shows that she did not choose to think only of herself. Sharing. Last Sunday morning, Luna's mum came home from a business trip. Her mother brought some gifts for Luna and her younger sister. She bought each of them 2 pairs of new shoes. Luna and her sister were very happy. They kept trying on the shoes and walking around all day in them. The next morning, as usual, Luna went to school on foot. She saw a very young child. She looked even younger than Luna. She wore an old shirt with many big and small holes in it. The child must be very poor, thought Luna, because she is out on the street with no shoes on her feet. Hey, where is your house? Why are you on the road barefoot like this? She said to the child. I live near here. My mom says that she cannot afford to buy a pair of shoes for me. Oh, then take mine, said Luna. Oh, wow. I love your shoes. Look how beautiful they are. The kid took a look at her shoes. My mom gave them to me yesterday. If you want, you can have them. I have another pair of shoes at my house. No worries, Luna smiled. Oh, you're so generous. God bless you. Then that child wore Luna's shoes and happily went back home. However, Luna could not go to school barefoot, so she returned to her house to take the other pair of shoes. "Why are you home, darling?" her mom asked. "Mom, I saw a very poor girl on the street, so I gave her my shoes. Please don't be mad at me," Luna said in fear. "Oh, my child, how can I get mad? You did the right thing. I'm so proud of you." Her mum gave her a hug. "I love the choice you made. Now, put on the other new shoes. I'll take you to school." "I don't want you to be late," her mum said. "Okay, Mum. I have my shoes on. Let's go."
That's all. Thank you so much for joining me today. And now do like, share and subscribe to our channel. And if you want to join our amazing English classes or want to know more information, please leave your contacts in the comment box below. Once again, thank you so much for learning with us. I'll see you in the next lesson.